we
This
discussed
conference will
contract
now be recorded.
as well as schedule agreement we discussed here. So today we'll discuss about some consignment procurement here. Okay, so consignment procurement we'll discuss today. Consignment procurement here. So what is consignment procurement? Okay, so we'll discuss today. So before going to discuss about the consignment procurement is a special procurement first of all here. Okay, the consignment procurement is a special procurement. So in this process, generally we will order to the vendor. The vendor will dispatch the material. Okay, so we will receive the material, but immediately we are not paying to the vendor here. In standard procurement, what we'll do, so after receiving the material, the invoice will be created. The invoice will be given by the vendor party, and we need to create the invoice in our system. So this invoice copy will go to our internal FI, the finance people. They are going to pay to the vendor. But in consignment procurement, okay, we will create a order to the vendor. So the vendor will dispatch, but immediately we are not paying to the vendor. So we are receiving this material and we are keeping in our store location. So when whenever you are utilizing this consignment stock here, example, I received some 100 kg of material through the consignment process here. So, okay, so when I am utilizing this 100 kg of material for internal consumption purpose or production purpose, so how much I am going to withdraw, for that much quantity only, so I need to pay. So today I received to the consignment process. Now after 3-4 days, I am going to consume this material. I am going to utilize this material. So how much you are utilizing? Some 5 kg. For that 5 kg only, you need to pay to the vendor here. This is about consignment procurement. So consignment is a special procurement. In this process, as per our request or as per our order, the vendor will dispatch the material. So whatever the material we are receiving this vendor, so we need to keep in our consignment stores. So immediately we are not making the payment to the vendor. So as per our withdrawals, so how much quantity withdrawn from the consignment store, for that much quantity only we need to pay to the vendor. Okay. To perform this consignment procurement, you must create purchase info record here. So for standard procurement, purchase info record is optional. But even when we are discussing the info record, also we discussed here, to perform consignment and pipeline procurement, the purchase info record is must here. Without purchase info record, we are not able to perform the consignment procurement here. So why purchase info record is mandatory to perform this consignment procurement here? Okay. So generally in the consignment procurement, we will discuss the vendor. The vendor will give you some time frame here. As the vendor is giving the temporarily is not going to charge anything here, so is not taking any liabilities from us, but at the same time he will mention, okay, so this material price, okay, this is the material price, and also we will mention some validity periods here from this date to this date. Okay, so suppose 3 months or 6 months, the validity period he will mention by the vendor here. So those validity periods we need to mention in the purchase info record, as well as we need to mention the price here. So whenever you are creating consignment PO, the system is not allowing to enter the price here. So to perform this consignment procurement, when you are creating PR or PO, so at the time of PO, the net price will be grayed out. Okay, so automatically it is internally the field selection, the net price will be grayed out. So we are receiving without paying anything. So when you are paying, so already in info record we mentioned the price, tax codes, and validity period. So without a purchase info record, we need to say that without purchase info record, we cannot process this consignment procurement. So the purchase info record is must. In purchase info record, we need to mention the price, validity periods, and tax codes here. Okay, so this is the one variation you need to observe. And generally in standard procurement, we will create the invoice here in MIRO, but in consignment procurement as well as the pipeline procurement, so we need to settle the liabilities in MRKO transaction code. So the finance document you need to create in the MRKO. Separate transaction code is designed for consignment as well as pipeline procurement. Today we need to observe here. Okay, and in consignment procurements we have some different variants is there here. Okay? So what is this variant? Suppose now the vendor has given some 6 months time. Okay, so in this 6 months, so suppose he issued some 500 pieces here. So on or before the 6 months, you can utilize this stock here. Suppose now variant one, if you in this before 6 months, if you utilize the complete stock, no problem. So how much you are withdrawing? So for that much, we need to prepare In MRKO, we need to prepare the invoice document. So this document will go to our internal and they will pay to the vendor here. So in second one, suppose we have not utilized the complete material. So if any stock is left out, so we have two options. The stock completely you can return to the vendor here. Okay, so whatever the stock is left out, that stock you can return to the vendor here. Means in future you don't require. So out of 500 pieces, you consumed only 400 here. So 100 pieces is left out here. This 100 pieces you can return to the vendor here. Okay, and next another variant here. Okay, so if any stock is left out, you can make the own stock also. You can make the own stock also. Okay, so in future you require this material, so you can change the ownership. So you can change from consignment to our own stock also, you can make it here. So there are different variants I will observe. So when before going to perform this consignment procurement, so let us observe. So we will create one material. Okay, so the material, we will create material, and already we have vendor, so we'll create vendor and try to create a purchase info record is the master data. Then we'll create PR. And one more thing in consignment procurement, so this PR also you can convert into RFQ, or if you know the vendor directly, you can create a PO. So in consignment procurement, if you want, you can search the vendor through the RFQ process also. It's about a complete consignment procurement. So whatever we discussed, let us see in the system here. Go to remote desktop connection. Now click on connect. Okay, the step one, we will create one material here, MM01. There's some raw material here. Go and selection views. The basic MM views here, basic data, purchasing, general plant, storage, and accounting one. Enter the plant and store location. Okay, so this is the raw material. Copy this material and the test material for consignment procurement here. Enter some base unit of measure. Enter some material group. Already you know how to create material. So enter the some buyer group. Enter the valuation class. So enter some moving price. Right. The material has been created. So this is the material. Just you copy this material. The step one, we created material here. Step one, we created material. Next, so step one, created material. This is the material. Okay. Right. Next, we try to create vendor here. So already you know how to create the vendor. So we have 1000 vendor, no problem. And third one, so what is mandatory to perform the consignment procurement? Purchase info record is mandatory. You know where we'll create a purchase info record. Go to M11 to create purchase info record. So purchase info record is a combination of both material and vendor. So by default 1000 vendor. So which vendor you are taking this consignment material? So you need to create, you must create a purchase info record with this vendor. Enter the vendor, enter the material. So enter the purchase organization. So enter the plant. Okay. And here when we are to perform this standard procurement, subcontracting procurement, purchase info record optional we discussed. For pipeline consignment, the purchase info record is mandatory here. Okay. So select the info category. So you must select here, otherwise the meaning will different here. So you must select the info category as consignment. Okay. Now try to create a purchase info record. So enter the plant delivery time, enter the some standard quantity. Okay. So you also must enter the tax code here. So why we need to enter the tax code? Because in consignment procurement, the system is not allowing to enter the price here. Okay, so when the system is not allowing to enter the price, how can you able to enter the tax code here? Okay, so both will be graded. So here itself, so we need to mention any suitable tax code here. Just I'm making some 0% of tax here. Okay, now net price here. Okay, so how much price here? Let us say $100 for one piece here. $100 for one piece here. Enter, enter. And again, so before that, here in consignment procurement, one important here we need to mention the validity period here. The system will pick some 25th, 5th. Okay, so 25th May to what are the duration period here? You must mention here. Okay, up to 25th August. The 3 months are this. Okay, so whenever you are procuring this material from this vendor in this purchase organization, this plant through consignment procurement, the price of this material for one piece is equals to $100 for one piece here. Okay, so this is the purchase info record is applicable from this date to this date here. After this date again, so this will be expired here. Okay, this record will be expired here. Now click on save here. So when you are creating purchase info record, like it is not a standard info record, right? Consignment info record here. So how it is represent the consignment info record, the info record number, and in 1000 purchase organization in 1000 plant. So it represents with K here. Okay, K means it represents the consignment info record here. Okay, P means pipeline here. So this we need to understand. Subcontracting means L here. We have observed here. Okay, so we created purchase info record. Then job is over. Next, so we have material, we have vendor, and already we created a purchase info record material and vendor combination. So initially we'll discuss the vendor and vendor will say 3 months, okay, up to 25th August. The price is applicable, we enter the tax code. So everything is the master data is ready here. Okay. Now let us create a purchase regulation here. Okay. So as we initially we discussed in most of the companies purchase info record is mandatory, but some companies like 5 to 10% companies the purchase info record is optional here. Okay. But most of the companies they will make a purchase regulation is mandatory. Okay, let us create a purchase regulation for consignment purchase regulation. Go to ME51 transaction code to create purchase regulation. So enter the material. So which material? Enter the material and how much quantity you require. Let us say I required 100 quantity, and for which plant here? For 1000 plant. And which store location here? For this 0001 store location here. The consignment is a special procurement. Suppose if any user is created a purchase regulation, so this normal purchase regulation also you can convert at the time of PO, you can convert the item category as K. If it is a so user don't know, right? So whenever he is creating PR, okay, so you can create for standard way also, but at the time of PO, you can select a consignment here. And most importantly, item category. Okay, so if already at the time of PR itself, user knows it has to procure in consignment process, then simply you can select the item category K here. When I selected item category K, so if I select the item category K, so what you need to observe, the valuation tab and account assessment tab will be disappear. Okay, automatically. So valuation and account assessment. Why valuation and account assessment? If you select item category K, so automatically this valuation and account assessment tab will be disappear. So which means if I am procuring standard way, so automatically these two tabs. So if I selected blank here, so you will find this valuation and account assessment here. Why this valuation and account assessment tabs disappeared automatically? Because here in consignment procurement, if I selected in consignment, so this we are initially we are not giving any payment to the vendor, so it is not related to like a payment here. So that's why the valuation tab will be disappear. And at the same time, the consignment material, even though we are receiving the material, but we are keeping in our stores, we are not ownership of this material. So please observe, if I am procuring in standard way, so that material once we received, so we are ownership of this material. So you can, okay, so we are the ownership here. But the consignment stock, we are not ownership. So we are keeping, the vendor is giving, so we are taking the material, we are keeping in our stores, but this ownership of the material still vendor. Okay, ownership of the material is in our store location, but we have not pay anything to the vendor. So still the ownership of the material is remains vendor. So that's what it will not go for the consignment here. So if it is going consignment here, we need to enter account assessment. As in consignment procurement, whenever you are creating PR and PO, so you will not find this account assessment tab here. These two tabs will be disappear automatically. So this you need to understand. So account assessment tab and valuation tab will be disappear whenever I selected. So what is meant by K? K represents item category. So we need to procure. If it is blank, so standard procurement. So if I selected a consignment, so automatically these two tabs will be disappear. This you need to observe and try to create PR purchase regulation here and copy this purchase regulation number. Okay, now with reference to this purchase regulation here. Okay, now copy this purchase regulation and enter the PR number here. Okay, so far we created a one purchase regulation. So already we created the material vendor and we maintained a info record and also we created a purchase regulation. So with reference to this purchase regulation, suppose this purchase regulation, if you want, you can convert. Already I told you, if you want, you can convert through the RFQ, request for quotation here. Okay, so or else directly if you know the vendor, so you can convert PO also here. Okay, let me create a with reference to purchase requisition, let me create the order here. I'll direct straight away, I'll create the order to the vendor. Go to ME21 and transaction code, try to create a PO with reference to PR. So enter the PR number. Enter the PR number. Now system will pick all the details here. Okay, please observe here. So enter the purchase organization. Okay, I'll enter the purchase organization in header tab here. Okay. So here enter the vendor here. Okay, no problem. Through which vendor we created info record, you need to enter the same vendor. Otherwise, okay. Suppose you created one purchase info record with some other vendor, consignment info record, and here you are mentioning another vendor, so it is not going to work here. Okay. So which vendor? So already that vendor must be created in the info record here. Okay. Now here please observe whenever you selected item category K. Okay. So system is saying, so it is actually in standard system itself. Somebody is deviated. So here document type and item category NBK purchase requisition here. So somebody is deleted here. Okay. So now purchase requisition document type here. So somebody is get deleted that we'll maintain here. Okay. So actually it should not like this here, because if it is a normal purchase requisition also we can convert into year, or if it is a item category K also we need to allow. So now the standard SAP system somebody is deleted, so we'll maintain here. Okay. We will maintain SPRO SAP reference IMG. Now go to materials management here. Go to materials management, purchasing, purchase order. Need to go to the purchase order. In purchase order, okay, so where you need to go, define document types here. Define document types, go to position, enter your document type NB. So NB is the standard view. Link the purchase requisition document type here. Okay. Now what do you need to link here? So select anyone. Okay. Or directly you can go. So purchase requisition standard here. You can go and click on copy as. Okay. So the purchase requisition is item category K. PO item category also. Purchase requisition item category K. You can enter purchase requisition item category K, and here also you can enter the item category K. So we need to maintain this here. Okay. So if you are creating purchase requisition with item category K, the PO item category is also K. So this actually somebody is deleted, so that's what it is stopping here. Now go back here. Again, you need to click on message during check here. So already the functional module is run, right? No problem. Just you go back. Once again, you go and try to create PO. Go to ME21 and transaction code. Okay. So what we need to enter the purchase requisition number here. Here you need to enter the purchase requisition number here. So what is the purchase requisition number here? This is the purchase requisition number. Now enter all the details here. Okay. Go and enter the purchase organization and enter the vendor here. Okay. Now system is not making that issue here. Okay. So previously here. So please observe there is no difference purchase requisition and purchase order. So same way we selected item category K. If it is a normal, if I maintain the blank, okay, so automatically this net price will be grayed out here. Okay, this you need to observe. What are the changes you need to observe? Suppose if I maintain the blank here, so it means a standard procurement here. So if I maintain the standard procurement, the system is allowed to enter the net price. And also in item details, you will find the condition tabs here. Okay, condition and account assessment tab. So now if you minimize here, so there is no condition tab and there is no account assessment tab here. So both tabs are disappear. If I make it this instead of item category K, so if I convert as standard, so simply I am showing here. Okay, so how the field selection, the net price is grayed out, right? So automatically net price will be enabled here. Okay, so if I remove this item category K, so net price will be enable mode. So that's what why. So in so many interviews they'll ask you why we are creating purchase as a mandatory. Okay, so here purchase requisition while you are creating in consignment procurement purchase info record is mandatory means. So if you have not created purchase info record, okay, so system is not allowed to enter the price here from where the price will be calculated. So because of this, the master order purchase info record is mandatory. So for the consignment procurement here. So in purchase info record itself, we will mention the price and validity period is here. Okay, this you need to understand. So whenever you enter the item category K, so which represents the consignment, so automatically in the PO net price will be graded out. And also you will automatically, you will observe the two tabs will be disappear automatically. Condition and account assignment tabs will be disappear. So this you need to observe. Okay, now click on message during check and click on save. Now once the PO is created, so now observe the PO number here. So this is the PO number here. If any subjected to release strategy, we need to release here. Okay, go to header. So it is it is not subject to release strategy. Now copy the PO number. Okay, now once you copy the PO number, so whenever vendor is dispatched, we need to enter the goods receipt here. Whenever vendor is dispatched, we need to enter the goods receipt. Go to Migo. Now goods receipt purchase order, enter the purchase order number here. Goods receipt purchase order, enter the purchase order number. If you click on execute here, okay. Now please observe. Okay, item okay. In material okay, we are receiving how much we are receiving 100 quantity, 100 pieces. In vary tab, please observe in vary tab. So if it is a normal stock, the system will update with 101 here. Okay, movement type is 101. The movement type, so you need to observe more carefully. So many interviews they'll ask you what is the movement type is triggering. So you have to focus on the movement type here. It is GR for the consignment stock here. So what is meant by K here? So 101 means goods receipt. Whenever you are receiving the material, the system will trigger 101. But what is this K? K represents the stock category. K means consignment stock here. K means consignment stock here. Okay. So 101 is the movement type is okay, but 101K means GR for the consignment stock. We need to observe here. Okay. And go to purchase data. So this like a item category. So we are procuring stand consignment process. Partner from which partner here. So this you need to observe the movement type, most important. So when we are procuring the material through the consignment process, the system automatically picks a 101K movement type here. Normal stock 101 here. Document okay. Now whenever you post this document, the material document is posted here. Okay. Now once the material document is posted, we will observe one by one changes. First you go and observe the stock overview. Okay, so previously also we observed whenever we post, if you go to where we need to check the stock overview, MMBE. MMBE is the transition code to check the stock overview. Go to MMBE. So enter the material, enter the plant, and enter the store location. Enter the store location. If you click on execute here, so automatically your stock is received. Okay, but if it is a previously, if it is a standard material, so the stock is updated in your plant and store location level here. So now still we are receiving this material to our stores only. We are keeping in our stores, but system is generated vendor consignment here. Why system is generated a separate line item? Because this material we received through the consignment process. So we are not ownership of this material. That's what in system how it is differentiating. So this is not your stock. It is belongs to some vendor stock, vendor consignment stock here. So we are not ownership of this material. So that's why the system is generated separate line item. This we need to observe. And at the same time, initially we are not paying to the vendor, right? Now if you go and observe your material document here, where you can observe the material document, you can go to MB03, or from it itself also you can see the material document. If you go to display of the material document, now if you observe the material document, so this material document, okay, so if you execute here this material document, now go to doc information. If you click on FI documents, so there is no subsequent document found in accounting here. Okay, there is no subsequent. So why there is no accounting document? So if, suppose now you can observe when you are creating standard procurement after receiving the material, so the system is generated the material document, right, with 101 type. So with normal stock. If you go and observe the doc information, if you click on FI documents, accounting document will be generated. But for the consignment procurement, when we are receiving with 101K, when you are receiving from this material from the vendor, initially there is no accounting document because we are not paying anything to the vendor here. That's sort of for 101K. So when you are receiving initial document, okay, there is no accounting documents. Okay, this also mostly in interviews they will ask you this question here. No subsequent document found in accounting here. Okay, so this we need to observe. And second one here. Okay, so this is one how we are going to receive this material here. Okay, we received this material. So as the vendor has given the time, some timeline, so 3 months or 6 months, we'll discuss with the vendor. Okay, now whenever you utilize this stock here from vendor consignment to okay, vendor, now I have stock in my plant and store location. It is showing in vendor consignment stock here. So what is the basic consignment procurement? So after receiving the material for our internal consumption purpose, for production purpose or cost center consumption purpose. So this material, how much I issued this stock here, how much material I issued, how much material I withdrawn. So for that much quantity only you need to pay to the vendor here. So after receiving this material, So if suppose my internal production purpose or custom purpose, if I utilize it, if I'll consume this stock, so how much I quantity I consumed here out of 100, if I consumed some 25 pieces, for these 25 pieces only I need to pay to the vendor here. Okay, so you have a lot of example in your day to day. Okay, so there are so many consignment procurement small examples is also there, like daily retail shops here. Some you are receiving some bread here. Okay, some bread packets here, some 3 to 4 days time is there. Okay, the shopkeeper will receive this, and suppose if you are not going to utilize, okay, so if suppose now we receive some 100 piece of this, okay, so only some 70 pieces you consumed here. So means 70 pieces already the retailer is sold. For this 70 pieces only, you'll this amount you need to pay to the vendor. Remaining 30 is spoiled or whatever it may be, you can return. uh, I don't need to pay. So whatever the quantity you can return here. Okay, like newspapers, these are all consignment procurement, and lot of every company we have consignment procurement process there. Okay, now assume that this material I am going to consume some 25 pieces. Okay, to issue the material, so where you need to go, you can go MB1A or MIGO. So to goods issue against the cost center. If I'll try to issue this material, go to MIGO or MB1A here. So you can perform in MIGO for all the internal activities here, means all the inventory activities. You can receive the goods, you can cancel the goods, you can do the goods issue, you can do the goods receipt, you can do stock transfer, transfer posting. So all the inventory management activities you can perform here. Especially here we have MB1A is there. It is for only goods issue. You can use MB1A also. MB1A means goods issue. So what is the moment type here? Suppose here 201. 201 generally it is to issue for normal stock here. But it's a consignment stock, right? So you must enter the special stock K. So the moment type is 201K. If I want to issue 201K, you need to use here. Okay, which from which plant and which store location? 1000 plant and 301 store location. Enter. So which cost center you need to issue? So 1000 cost center here. So these cost centers will be prepared by the FI people. Okay, so don't worry. So they will inform you what cost center here and which vendor stock here. So enter the cost center first of all. Enter the cost center. Somebody is deleted the cost center here. Okay, so and which vendor stock here like this? So we have 1000 vendor stock is there, right? So enter the 1000 vendor stock here. Okay, so here for consignment we have so many vendors is there. Okay, which vendor stock it is? So 1000 vendor stock you need to enter. And which material? So enter the material code. How much quantity you are issuing? From 25 pieces here. Enter. Okay, and if you click on save here, alright, account type M, content open item credit is not permitted here. Account type M and GL account open text. So we are facing some issue. Okay, so yeah, so this is a GL account here. Change the master data for the GL account and company code V3 and accordingly. So most of the finance people, they are changing as per their requirement here. Okay, account type M and GL account number. Not a. Okay, let me check here. So 169900 to change the GL account here. Okay, FS00. So actually, this is not our issue. Don't worry. Which company code here? 1000 company code here. And this account type M. There, edit, edit cost element here. Just to go back here. First we will go to the change mode. Okay, now go to edit cost element here. GL account is a balance sheet account here. Where it from? Okay, so we don't have idea about this here. Where actually this account type M we need to observe here. Control data. Account type here. First we will see display mode here. Account type M here. We didn't know this areas. Mostly in account payable consignment failure. Okay, here reconciliation account type here. We need to check here. Okay. Okay, here sort account. What is this 0 to 9? Posting and vendor here. I don't know, just making. Again, will if it is not happened, again will come here. Okay, so let us see here. It's only for a trial and error based here. I'm not sure this. But let us try. Otherwise, we'll go. So enter the special stock K, consignment stock here, and enter the cost center and enter the vendor. Enter the material code. So this is the material. Enter some quantity. Now if you click on save, account type M and GL account with open item management here. View details here. Account type M and GL account with open item management is not permitted here. Account type GL account is company code. Occurred in a certain item. This GL account run with open items here. Change the master data for the GL account in company code V3 accordingly. Where we observed V3, just observe here V3. We observed V3 here. Now make it 0 to 9. Anywhere did you observe V3 here? Because there is no FA here. V3. Okay, I'll do one thing here. So instead of wasting time here, now let me check with any other system. So what exactly? So in this 169900 account. Okay. So meanwhile, just see the process here. Okay. So whenever I'm issuing, just we'll try with the MIGO also instead of MB1A. Let us try with the MIGO. MIGO. So enter the goods issue. Okay. And however it is cost center, right? So click on other. So enter the material. Which material? So what is the material? Enter the material. Now copy this material and come to here. Enter the material. How much quantity? Some 25 pieces here. In where tab, enter the movement type 201K here. Okay, the consignment here. So enter the plant and enter the store location. So now in partner tab, which vendor stock it is? Enter the vendor, 1000 vendor. Enter the account assignment here. So which account assignment? Enter the cost center here. So in account assignment, enter the cost center item. Okay, check. AppDoc should be reversed before GRIGA cancellation here. So this is also some finance relevant error here. Okay, it's stopping here. So okay, no problem. Okay, I'll rectify this issue. So before that, today, so what we will do here in consignment procurement, observe that. So tomorrow we'll make it that I'll check this GL account 169900. So just assume. Okay, so we'll go with assumption here. So when you are issuing the stock here, so automatically your stock will be decreased here. Okay, and suppose now issuing to the cost center. So when I'm issuing to the cost center, automatically your stock will be decreased here. So now suppose if I issued 100 out of 100, I issued some 25 pieces here. The stock will be only 75 pieces here. The stock will be only 75 pieces here. When I'm issuing the document, the system is going to generate one material document here. So when I'm issuing, the system is going to generate the material document. So with this material document, you need to go to MRKO transaction code. In MRKO transaction code, we need to create an invoice here. Okay, so this we need to enter this material document. So when you execute it automatically, system is going to. So for this MRKO is for only for especially for consignment and pipeline settlement here. Okay, so if I enter this material document, so at the time of goods receipt, you will not find any accounting document. But when I'm issuing, so as per my business requirement, so whenever I utilize the was next 3 months or 6 months, whatever the validity period I entered in a purchase record. So I here on or before that, when I'm like same like contract when you require this material, the same way consignment procurement already we received this material, so we are keeping in our stores. So when you require this material, we need to utilize this material. So how much quantity we done? So for that, the system is going to generate the material document. So this material document here you need to mention and deselect the pipeline, select the consignment. So when you click on execute, automatically system is going to generate one invoice document based on this invoice document. So this invoice copy will also go to the vendor, and we need to pay to the vendor. This is 1 year. Okay, and the second variant here. So if any stock is left out, we can return the stock also. The complete vendor consignment stock you need to return to the vendor. And third one, if any suppose we are not going to return here, so suppose in future also you require this material, any partial quantity is left out, that we can see in how to own the stock also. But we are some finance people, they changes in the system, so because of that we are not able to move here. So today I'll rectify, and tomorrow we'll continue from here itself here, don't worry. Okay, okay, Naresh, Harshini, Nagendra will continue from tomorrow. So as
Okay, sir.
some finance
Okay, sir.
related error, I'll rectify this, and tomorrow we'll continue from here. And the same material, same. So only we receive the stock from here. I will show you how the changes will happen here. Okay, thank you for joining the session. Thank you all.